My wife harasses me all the time about all the t-shirts and jerseys I own from all the tournaments I've played in over the years. She always asks me, what is the purpose of holding on to them if I'm not going to wear them? And more importantly, when I say that I will get rid of some of them, I spend more time reminiscing and talking about the good times than I do cleaning. Truthfully, there is something in me that will not let them go. Even the ones that don't fit me anymore, I have a problem getting rid of because of the meaning that it had in the moment of my life. In the last 2 years, I have been blessed with the responsibility of 2 beautiful children. I have a son that just turned 2 in June and a daughter that is 9 months old. So for the last 3 years of life and its blessings, I have put basketball on the back burner. But this year, they are older. And with the blessings of my wife, I once again will be able to travel to Wausau, Wisconsin to find out who is the Macker. But I have to start at the beginning of this whole thing. No, I'm not talking about when my wife gave me permission, who still gave me the side eye the day that we left. I'm talking about the very beginning, when the dreams and efforts of becoming a pro basketball player were real and attainable. Or so we thought. This is a home video of my good friend Walter, made when we were reaching for those stars. See that left-handed demon on the court? Yeah, that's me. And at the time, I was one of the best players out of my area. That was until I met Walter LaShore. He was a small frame guy at the time. I mean, we all were. But the one thing Walter had that I had never seen in anyone else I knew was drive.
Hi, I'm Dominique Booker, at a younger age. Come journey with me in Atlanta Hawks and see the fun of our training camp. For only $225, 2 months, you can learn the fundamentals of cow building, speed, and power. Oh yeah, nice hair. And eat more Cheerios in that diet. Wear Reebok. Pump up and air out.
Day in and day out, for summer after summer, this is the scene that was going on in our neighborhood. Despite the gang violence and drug use, basketball was our rite of passage. See, in the 90s, when people in Chicago were divided by colors of red and blue, the one thing that allowed you to go anywhere in the city without adversity was the bounce of a basketball. And it wasn't something that was given to you either. You had to earn your way onto the courts, playing on one of the monkey bars first as a child, hoping one day the older kids would give you a chance. And once that day came, playing your hardest to never be exiled from the courts again. That is why Chicago players are so very defensive-minded. And he worked every day to make sure that happened, becoming an all-conference player for one of the top producing basketball programs in the Chicago area.
Walter is also an all-conference selection. He is at least a nominee for All-Area in the Southtown. That hasn't come out yet. I can't remember your positioning in conference, but I believe you were like 4th leading scorer in conference. Walter, and I said this at the beginning, Walter is exciting. Walter plays like Clyde the Glide. He goes to the hole harder than, one of the, probably harder than a lot of players I have, maybe the hardest. Walter LaShore, all-conference player.
But soon, he learned that getting into college under a basketball scholarship had more details than we were once told.
Clearinghouse, that they don't, do they even have clearinghouse and stuff like that anymore? You had to go to clearinghouse. If you couldn't produce the grades, the SAT or ACT score, and then put that together and have some decent parents who raised you, then most of these schools didn't want no parts of you. But what I really hated about that was you had 5 visits. At the time when I was in high school, you only had 5 official visits. Once you made those 5, you had to need to make your pick. You see what I'm saying? So that's a down of it, that you only have 5, and nowadays kids get all these unofficial visits and stuff. You know, they don't understand how good they got it.
One of the key principles of basketball I have taken with me my whole life is that you respect everyone on the floor. For if nothing else, the fact that they are on the floor with you, and always keeping in mind that maybe one day your rival will become your teammate and greatest asset in your growth. Number 50 in this clip subbing in is the product of this same principle. Meet Antonio Cummings, son of future Hall of Famer and Chicago legend Terry Cummings. Coming from the same streets, it's even harder as a son of an NBA player to be better than everyone else. Also, having a younger brother who will later play professionally, I asked him, what is it like dealing with these facts?
I mean, honestly, for me, there was no advantages. I mean, I didn't have the name. My last name was Sanders, which is kind of funny to actually admit that, because not too many people genuinely know the other ones who went to high school with me. My last name was Jimmy, in college with me, I should say, too, because I was out of college with Sanders, but that's a whole different story. But my last name was Sanders, so I had no attachment to the Cummings name, other than the fact that people whispered all that shit. They had me in high school, me in junior high, was kids coming up to me and telling me, your dad Terry Cummings? No, he's not. No, it's not. I talked to somebody who's some lady that's related to him. They said they don't know who you are. And my response would be, that's cool, because I don't know who they are either. My dad had 13 siblings. I don't know who most of them folks is on that side of the family. So just because my dad was Terry Cummings, the only thing that did was give me extra drive to be better than, to be expected, just because nobody expected.
Antonio's journey to college basketball was a little different in a sense. He was not recruited highly out of high school, but worked hard and made his way into Lincoln College just by visiting the school.
I was a walk-on when I went to college. Nobody come visit me. I went to the school, I was like, hey, who's your starting small forward? He told me who it was. I was like, hey, I'm gonna take a spot. He's like, really? But can you dunk? I said, one hand or two? 2 hands. Ugh. Can you shoot? Yeah, I can shoot, and I'll be better when I come back. All right. I earned everything I got.
My sophomore year at Hillcrest, and we was playing in the summer league at Homewood, Flossmoor.
Yep.
And Crete Monique had loaded their team. I don't know, somehow Crete and Homewood kind of mixed players, because Jason King and all of them was playing on the same squad and shit. Well, TC happened to be on a defensive end, and I got a steal. And I was real fast in high school, so I was pushing the ball as hard as I could, and I seen TC coming out of nowhere. I didn't even know this nigga, and he was coming out of nowhere. And I laid the ball up extra high because he was caught up to me at that point. And I laid the ball up so high, J Hood, I thought the ball was gonna go out of bounds, but it went up and in. And TC came, and the backboard is here, and he smacked right below the top of the backboard.
I feel myself take off, but I feel like Superman in that bitch, I was just flying, barely missed it. Boom! Wow! And I'm on the ground. I'm like, ow.
And he jumped so high, like this, no lie, this part of his body hit the backboard, so he fell, kind of. You see what I'm saying? His momentum carried him, and he did like this. And I was like, damn, why he chasing me down so hard? And then, to go from that to playing college together, that was crazy.
And so a friendship begins with the choice of college. Trusting and going into war with a person that less than 4 months ago was your rival. And through that, you learn that it was almost needed for both of them and how they help each other in their development as players.
This guy came in as a recruit. We're sophomores. This guy came in as a recruit. And we was just shooting around, and he was ready to go. You come in when you go into a school, you're checking out, you come with your A++ game. I came out there with some straight up bullshit. I was just like, man, whatever. Let's just shoot around or whatever. This nigga worked my face. I mean, I ain't never had my face worked like that before in my life. I mean, the only time I've ever been worked like that since then is when I've been out of shape. And that's all I would use to get myself back in shape. That next game, bull all out here talking shit. Like, we talking about from the beginning of the game to the end of the game. He's just like, damn dude, finna work your face like old boy did. I was like, oh, that's what we on? Yeah, that's what we on, nigga. Get your ass in the game, let's go. I mean, he was that constant, like, that was I mean, if I could have played 4 years with him, me and him would have went to the NBA. We went to this school called Culver Stockton College. Culver, Missouri doesn't have any black people. Not one black person lives in Culver, Missouri. Maybe today, I doubt it still to this day. We went into our locker room the first time we got there. We got off the bus and we went to the locker room. We had all Americans on our team, and we should have won this game by like 30. And the referees that day were Culver Stockton referees, basically. And they kept every time we would get a lead, they would make it where they was able to shoot free throws or some type of bullshit play. You know what I'm saying? To the point where my coach was crying damn near. He had tears in his eyes because he knew that we was getting shafted and there wasn't nothing he could do because we was in Culver Stockton, Missouri. Dog, y'all had to been there. Like the animosity, the people just angry at us. I mean, the whole game. And then the refs cheating us, the coach was over on the sideline like coach was not a very, like, I'm gonna go and holler at the refs or nothing, shit like that. Like, he was in tears and shit. He was like, man, I'm being robbed, some bullshit. He was like, you actually feel that, huh? And I forget whoever else was in there, but me, TC, and Gennaro was in that huddle. And the coach called to play. Me and TC were sophomores, and Gennaro was a freshman. And the coach called to play for Gennaro with 4/10 of the second left. And I was supposed to set a screen for Gennaro's man, and me and TC looked at each other in the huddle like that ain't finna happen. So when we got out on the court, I actually changed the play myself. I threw Gennaro into my man, and then I grabbed the ball and I threw it, and it was all net. We won that game with the coach having tears in his eyes, and TC turned around to the crowd and was like, and when he hit that motherfucking shot, I was like, hell yeah. Fuck you. Because TC grabbed his nuts and gave the bird to the whole white crowd. They didn't even have no room for our fans. They had only room for their fans, and then they was drinking. They had drinks, liquor in their hand. These white boys had liquor. These hillbillies had liquor in their cup, and they was fucking with us before the game started. Hey, we got your number, LaSure. We got your number, Cummings. No, Sanders. We got your number, Sanders. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with these motherfuckers? What happened was, my school was ranked in junior college, so like this was a big deal for them, and they knew who Marcus was, so it was like a really big deal for them. Like it was like the biggest dude who ever came to Culver Stockton or something. So they really had us, thought they had us beat until I hit that shot from half court, and then TC flipping the bird. That was my fondest memory, though. That memory of Walter is like one that I would tell my grandkids, if Lord willing, I survived this long.
Lincoln College is a 2-year program. So after their 2 years, both men choose different schools to attend to finish out their collegiate careers. Antonio choosing the University of Wisconsin Superior, and Walter attending Morris Brown College in Atlanta, Georgia. But through it all, they kept in touch. And through this friendship came the 2 remaining men who will round out the lineup. Rob Tom, shown here wearing number 7, and Quentin Malone, wearing the number 3, thus forming the 4-man team that will be competing in Wausau, affectionately known as Team Back Again. So now here we are riding 300 miles to a small town to prove something to ourselves. What that is, I haven't figured out, but by the end of the trip, I think I'll have it. The Gus Macker tournament started in 1974 among 18 friends in the driveway of founder Scott McNeil's parents in Lowell, Michigan. They each pitched in $1 to give a prize to the winners of the tourney, and in 1985, Sports Illustrated wrote an article entitled The Article, helping catapult the tourney into a national scale. Now holding tournaments in 75 cities with over 200,000 players and 1.7 million spectators enjoying 3-on-3 competition.
If you see Fortune, that's good.
Yeah, basically, we 0-1. I promised a game 1 win. I did not fulfill my promise, so it's panties the rest of the day. All panties.
What adjustments do you guys think you need to make before second game?
Go through screens, actually go through the screens and use motherfuckers. And we all need to rebound. They throw me the ball up top, I'm going. Because ain't nobody, I don't see nobody on the court that's going to be able to stay with us, so I'm going. So same thing with everybody else. If you're going to go. I'm going to try to rebound, but y'all need to do the rebounding thing.
All right, back in a moment.